Hey there, wanted to show you a simple formula and spreadsheet that will allow you to calculate your daily activities that you need to do in order to generate the business and the life that you want to live. So, first, it helps if you have an idea of how much money you need or want to make by the end of the year, because we can use that number to help work it backwards down to how many contacts you need to make a day. And I want to clarify that contacts don't have to be cold calling. This can be people that you like, know, and trust. So don't confuse contacts with cold calling. They're two very different things. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because, of course, we have a spreadsheet that can help work the math for you so you don't have to break out the calculator. This spreadsheet we call the LID spreadsheet, which stands for Lifestyle Investment and Debt. So in this spreadsheet, you're going to calculate what your monthly expenses are. And please know this isn't the bare minimum. This isn't to barely get by. That's not a life worth living. So what does it cost for you to live the lifestyle that you want to live on a month-to-month basis? It's going to add up how much that takes for the year, as well as ensuring that you have 6 months in reserves. Because being in a commission-based industry, you should always have 6 months in savings. If you already have that, you could always change this to 0 or whatever your savings account is already at. Next, here you have investment goals. So maybe you want to make $108,000 next year, but you also want to be able to put $20,000 down on an investment property. You would go ahead and enter that here. Maybe you want to put some money away for college savings for the kiddos. You can add that in here as well. So these are money that they decide to invest and build. So this is on the credit cards or other home loans, pay off that card, and the balance is 5,000. You would put that here. Maybe you'd like to make a couple extra mortgage payments to build the equity in how much equity you have in your home. So maybe you could put in here that you want to pay off an additional $5,000 this year. And what this is going to do then is add up the total amount needed for your lifestyle investments and debts. It's then going to add in additional cushion so that way you can pay Uncle Sam his dues. And then here you can add in any additional income that maybe you already bring in. So maybe you got some side gig, maybe you've got rentals that have cash flow, maybe you have a spouse that makes money. You could always add that here if you'd like. And then it's going to generate how much income you need to make next year in order to achieve all of those financial goals. Next, you can put in your average commission check. That's going to generate for you how many closings you need in a year. Right now, we have an estimated contract fallout of 15%. So that way, you know, you're going to have a little bit more closings. So in this example, you need to have 36 closings in order to generate 30. Then here we're going to input how many conversations you need to have in order to have one client. The more you know your numbers, the more you can adjust here. So for some people, that might be 100 conversations in order to generate one client, especially if they're cold internet leads. So depending on where you're pulling from, this number could be different. Um, especially if they're warm leads. How many you need to have is 2,110 in this example. Sounds like a really big number, but when you break that down, which we have system models to help you do this, it's only 528 per 3 months a year. When you input weeks in a year, how many vacation I would put no less than, that's a whole nother video. But things happen, life happens, kids get sick, you get sick, you have to have time off to go to doctor's appointments. It all adds up, so we always recommend a minimum of 4 weeks in here to give you a more accurate count of how many conversations you need to have in a day. You can also input how many days a week you wanna work. Maybe you don't wanna work 5 days a week, maybe you only wanna work 4 days a week. Now this says that you need to have for 4 days a week for 48 work weeks a year, you need to talk to 11 people every single day, which seems much more doable than this 2,000 number or even the 528 number. And that will give you the great indicator of how much you need to do every day in order to hit that yearly goal. Keep in mind, you should track this for a couple of months. And if you're not hitting the number that you really want to hit, it might mean that you need to double your efforts. But tracking your conversion is going to help you where you need to work smarter and not harder. So sometimes it's not about increasing the conversations, it's just critiquing the conversations that we're already having. So I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like a copy of this template, please just message me. I'd love to share it with you. And if you would like to discuss maybe some of those conversion issues, so that way you can work smarter, not harder, I have plenty of tools and resources and would love to have that conversation with you as well. So thanks so much for watching and hope you found this helpful.